Roberto Clemente, Luis Roberto Clemente.
Que tuve que al final.
Bueno, sí, se nos quedaron muchas preguntas.
Pero
y...
es que tenemos. Podemos seguir, pero sí. el próximo invitado no puede esperar,
sí,
hermano.
Mira, ahora mismo pues tenemos la situación de el agente, uno de los agentes libres más cotizados, casualmente puertorriqueño, Carlos Correa, decidió tomar la determinación de que maneje su carrera en este punto crítico por el superagente Scott Boras. Scott Boras es el agente más reconocido mundialmente de jugadores de béisbol y ha tenido los jugadores más impactantes en el béisbol de Grandes Ligas. Y
tiene,
lo tenemos,
entre otros, Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, Gerrit Cole, los últimos contratos grandes que ha hecho. Tiene varios jugadores de los Astros.
En diciembre hizo contrato de $600 millones solamente en diciembre.
Lo tenemos a Corey Seager.
Claro, y lo tenemos en línea telefónica. Scott Boras. Scott, welcome to En la Cancha on the Core TV. How are you?
Jerry, Tona.
Yes,
how are you?
Very good.
How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, it's a real pleasure to have you here. How's everything down there? How's the weather condition at this time?
Well, in sunny Newport Beach, much like Puerto Rico, we get very mild winters, and it's very pleasant weather. No
okay, that's good. Anyways, we have a very limited amount of time. We want to maximize the opportunity to talk to you. Okay, Carlos Correa right now it's the big ticket as a free agent. How he get into your organization? Did he approach you, or
one of the friends? Talk to him and convince him.
Well, I've known Carlos since he's 16 years old.
Okay.
Because we went to meet with Carlos way back when in Puerto Rico when he was just beginning his career.
Okay.
We've always admired his abilities, and Carlos called me, a few weeks ago and told me that he wanted to sit down and talk with me about his free agency, and so we have spent a great deal of time in planning to prepare for that once the lockout ends and we move forward with the season.
So how much time took from him, at least just to get signing by you, since you had the first conversation with him?
Well, this is a process where you look and see what an approach would be.
Mm-hmm.
We had to go over a lot of data with Carlos. I brought down about a 250-page document so that he could see really sometimes players are great players, and Carlos is like when I represented Alex Cora. These men are 24/7 baseball. They're into analytics. They study. They're always trying to improve. So he's a very, very knowledgeable major league player and teacher, in addition to being a great player. And so you sit down with him, and of course, I have a database that has been built over a 35, 40-year period, and we have 30 researchers on our staff. And so we have methods and algorithms of analyzing players and their evaluations, and we shared those with Carlos so that he could really get an idea about how extraordinary his performance has been. It's so rare. It's so rare to have somebody who can play at the championship level so consistently and be at the top of the ladder of the premium position in the game, both offense and defense.
He's a champion, like you said. He's a leader, and he's a master of his domain on his position right now. He's right now at the top level on his position on 2021 Golden Glove, among other things. So it's a great time for him, and obviously his health is better than a couple of years ago in terms of his performance and how much game has he been playing.
I had a question for Scott. Scott, what kind of contract you looking for Correa? A long term or 2-year and go back to the free agency? What are you looking for him right now?
At this very stage of his career, yeah.
Well, the great thing about Carlos is that he is the youngest free agent this year. He's the youngest free agent next year.
Okay.
He has many, many options to review and look at. Obviously, when you're an owner, you have to talk about the fact that when is the last time I had an opportunity to get a talent like this that is this young, this extraordinary at that position. And I don't know if many of the Puerto Rican fans remember that in the WBC, I remember going to the game and Carlos played third base, and he is a remarkable third baseman in addition to being a platinum Gold Glove shortstop. And this is something that's rare because most shortstops don't have the offense to play third base, and many shortstops are not as defensively adept at shifting positions if they need to. And so this is something later in Carlos's career that is of great value to a club as well. So for an owner to have an opportunity to sign a franchise player like this, it just doesn't come along maybe in a 20, 30-year period. So this is something that I think a lot of teams really have to look at in very different ways because it's not your normal free agent.
Right. And that's the other question that I have for you. The many teams, but I'm sure he already told you about the preference of where he want to go.
Well, those are things that obviously when you're negotiating contracts, you want to be able to do the following, and that is you want to listen to all the choices. And then you have to sit down and listen to owners. You have to talk with them. And I always tell players that they should be very open about their considerations. Obviously, he's had a great run in Houston, and they have a great team going forward.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense for him to stay in Houston.
And my question is that he's
And
looking
also
for more about the money or winning?
Well, I think there's no one.
Or both.
Or both.
There's no one that does anything in life that does not want an appropriate and fair evaluation for what they do. And on the other hand, you listen to owners, you listen to their plan, and often when they come to you, they say things that players had never heard before. So this is a very personal process, free agency, and it's something where I certainly. My job is to give players choices, to give them opportunities to listen and evaluate. And Daniela and Carlos, I'm sure, once they get all that information, will be able to make an excellent choice.
Yeah, Scott. Last question because we have to go. We have just a commercial break. But with this lockout, this is for him. I'm sure it's a very good benefit in terms of. I don't know how long it will take in terms of the lockout. What do you expect in terms of how long will take the lockout and then continue with this negotiation with the teams?
Well, CBA negotiations are almost like when you're going to predict the weather. You could say that it could be a storm tomorrow, and then on the other hand, it wouldn't rain for 45 days. So I've learned that you wake up every day and you always have the hope of certainly an agreement being met. But these are times where there has been a dramatic increase in revenues, and the players in the last decade or so have not received the appropriate financial contributions for their skills in relative to the increase in revenues, and that has to be adjusted. And if we can reach an agreement on that, I think we'll be able to return to a normal.
Hopefully this will get sooner because everybody wants to continue watch baseball. And as you might know, Puerto Rico is a big fan of baseball since Roberto Clemente and other big figures that have been playing for the whole history of baseball. We want to see great baseball.
Well, I'm always honored to be associated with great Puerto Rican players, Bernie Williams and Carlos Baerga, the Alomars, Benito Santiago, and certainly
and Carlos Beltran, actually, that you were the
Carlos
agent.
Beltran, Alex Cora, and certainly with Carlos, this is it's really quite a privilege.
Yeah, Scott,
it's a privilege for us
just to have you here. Hope we could continue to have this discussion, and we invite you to come to Puerto Rico anytime. So we have an open discussion here at the studios.
Well, Dorado is a special place for me.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
We're waiting for you then.
Yeah,
we meet then.
Yeah, we will continue just to keep in touch, and best of luck.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott.
Jerry, Tony, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Ok, ahí lo teníamos, Scott Boras,
Vamos a
el
una pausa
agente
y
de
regresamos en
Carlos
breve.
Correa, y luego pues vamos a un resumen sobre esto. Esto es En la Cancha por WIPR Televisión.